New York gave birth to hip-hop, but for many of the old names and legends in the industry. It was Detroit that contributed greatly to shaping it because Brick City was known for its electro, which is one of the main rhythmic sources from which early hip-hop flowed. Eminem is just one of the few names that rhyme with Brick City. In the early days of hip-hop, rappers from across America viewed Detroit's talents with great envy. In fact, it is quite common these days for many famous rappers to mimic some of Brick City's rap phenomenon, rhymes, and innovations in the hip-hop realm. However, it would be quite hard for anyone to mimic Eminem's style and skills. He is, by all means, a one-of-a-kind wonder, a mystery yet to be explained, an entertainer that deserves a class of his own. Even those who hate him respect his resilience and steadfastness from the early days and later after his fame brought him undesired grudges and lawsuits. They even find his beats and wordy hits quite entertaining. The fact remains that Eminem is still an icon that dominates all headlines for Detroit's reputation as a musical hub. And it is not all due to his contributions to hip-hop, but also because of his immense wealth, luxurious lifestyle, contribution to the city's economy, and philanthropy work, which are also quite prevalent and noticeable. Are you ready now to learn about Eminem's real net worth and his luxurious lifestyle, which is dominated by private jets, exotic cars, mansions, never-ending pool parties, insanely expensive private shows for the top elites, and elusive yet intriguing dating life? Stay tuned, because when it comes to Eminem, nothing is what it seems and everything is sort of shady. The city of Detroit always had a bad reputation. In the not-too-distant past, some of its neighborhoods were more like war-torn zones. It was famous for four things: making General Motors cars, a scary high crime rate, racial tensions, and hip-hop music. It is also a city with a very unique, distinct culture and a mesmerizing, diverse entertainment scene, a place with an ancient, rebellious, evolving soul that represents more about America than Hollywood. It is safe to say that Eminem is just as unique as the city where he grew up, just as hard as the poor neighborhoods he lived in, and just as talented as the diverse crowd of unique and talented hidden music artists he spent most of his teenagehood within shadow alleys and parking lots. Eminem's childhood and early life as a young man, as many of you already know, were filled with hardships and poverty, and of course, he came from a very dysfunctional family. His early history is nothing more nor less than a manifestation and reflection of Detroit's recent history. A good portion of that improvement can be attributed to philanthropy foundations that were established by its former prodigal sons, the now world-class notorious hip-hop artists, actors, and producers that mostly rose from the ruins of immense poverty in the worst ghettos and slums in the USA, to become some of the richest and most famous people in the world. Eminem is, by all means, the most notable of these names, yet many others from his hood also possess the same greatness he achieved. They include too many names to mention, such as Jackie Wilson, Jack White, Tom Selleck, Bob Seger, Ken Jeong, Big Sean, Aaliyah, and Sufjan Stevens. Even after he became a one-percenter who owns not one but two private jets, millions of dollars worth of exotic cars, and mansions we can only dream of, he still prefers to live near Detroit and spend plenty of time in it. He also spends millions of dollars annually on the city via his foundation, which raises a handsome sum every year. The Marshall Mathers Foundation is a charitable organization dedicated to assisting disadvantaged and at-risk youth primarily in Detroit, Michigan, and its surrounding communities. Eminem's exact wealth is hard to determine, and he has never agreed to release such information to the public. Even his holdings are somewhat of a mystery. However, we do not take that for an answer, and thus we have investigated and concluded some stuff that you will really enjoy hearing. According to top analysts and experts who work for renowned financial magazines such as Forbes, Marshall Bruce Mathers aka Eminem aka Slim Shady is worth a staggering $630 million. Overall, he sold more than 220 million records worldwide, which makes him one of the top best-selling musicians of all time, effectively beating legends such as the Beatles, Garth Brooks, and Elvis Presley. Eminem was the most popular recording artist of the 2000s and the most popular male recording artist of the 2010s. He is a very recognizable global brand with a global fan base of no less than 500 million people, if not more. Many tried to put a figure on his average monthly income, which proved to be quite difficult since he is also an investor with a hefty stock portfolio and a few businesses that he owns and runs. However, some experts estimate that his net monthly income ranges between $7 and $17 million, depending on variables such as the stock market, level of income from his businesses, and income from his performances, tours, and marketing. For more than 20 years, he has been appearing on the list of the highest paid artists in the field of entertainment every year consistently. To date, he's released 11 solo albums and has 15 Grammy Awards to his name. His business career began in 1999 after Interscope gave him a deal to create his own record label, Shady Records. In 2002, he signed major artist 50 Cent in a joint venture with Dr. Dre's Aftermath label. Over the years, Shady Records has had artists including Yelawolf and West Side Gun. To date, Shady Records reported around $300 million in profits, and it is valued at around $120 million, which is an estimate, by the way. Mind you, it is just one of Slim Shady's sources of income. Once the income from Shady Records is summed with his personal income as an artist, which amounts to more than $300 million in 20 years, and his other assets, which are worth more than $100 million, we get the $630 million Forbes magazine talked about. In fact, if we were to get access to his stock portfolio value and shares in entertainment giants that he probably invested in, we can safely conclude that Eminem is a billionaire with at least $1.2 billion. Naturally, as a very wealthy multimillionaire, Eminem holds a handsome portfolio that includes other income-generating assets such as stocks. However, investment portfolios are private, and accessing them is a dead end by all means. As for properties, Slim is not obligated to unveil such assets, which can be worth tens of millions of dollars if not more, especially if he owns some commercial and rental properties, which is a very common practice among the rich because real estate is the best investment anyone can make and is the global de facto wealth storage means of choice. Eminem's YouTube channel is also extremely popular. He claims to be among the all-time top musicians in terms of viewership, which is true. His estimated annual income from YouTube ad revenue is around $25 million. Some say that figure is actually more than around $50 million. Of course, Eminem leads a life of luxury which, to be honest, he does not seem to enjoy as much as he should, mainly due to his very busy schedule and the fact the rich are not exempt from common life's headaches. Nevertheless, he does own 2 private jets which he uses a lot and would not confirm if owns them or not. He also owns 12 luxury exotic cars and 7 breathtaking expensive house properties that he calls home, one for every mood as it seems. These assets alone are worth no less than $200 million, depending on the real estate market prices and depreciation in the value of his vehicles and planes. His entourage of exotic super expensive cars includes an Aston Martin V8 Vantage, a Ferrari 575, a Porsche Carrera GT, a Ford GT, an Audi R8 Spider, a Porsche 911 GT3 RS 4.0, a Porsche 911 GT2 RS, a Lamborghini Aventador, a Porsche 911 Turbo, McLaren MP 412C, a Ferrari 599 GTO, Ferrari 430 Scuderia. Eminem also has 7 luxury properties that he calls home. A $20 million penthouse in New York, a $15 million mansion in California, a stunningly expensive $29 million apartment in Monaco, an insane $45 million villa in Dubai, a $12 million villa in London, and a $10 million mansion in Amsterdam. As for his dating life, well, Eminem's love life has always made headlines, even though he prefers to keep personal details away from the spotlight. But his relationship with Mariah Carey was especially tumultuous. He has been romantically involved with a few hot celebrities over the years. He also married the same woman, his high school sweetheart, twice, and has 3 children. However, he is known as a person who doesn't trust people easily, which would explain his flip-flop marriage and stormy dating life. One of Eminem's career highlights is 8 Mile, the 2002 film he starred in alongside late actress Brittany Murphy. Murphy and Eminem reportedly dated while filming, but their relationship did not last. As for the Mariah Carey and Eminem dated or not dated fiasco, well, they probably did, and it ended in a disaster of sorts because both took some quite strong shots at each other. They have even released songs dissing each other. Carey's song Obsessed, released in June 2009, is believed to be about the rapper because the music video shows a man looking like Eminem stalking Carey. 1 month later, Eminem fired back and addressed their relationship in The Warning. He referenced Carey in a few other songs, proving that their feud was more serious than most people thought. Eminem also may or may not have dated Kim Basinger, Britney Spears, Joy McAvoy, Skylar Grey, and many other famous women and models. But he has never confirmed most of those relationships. Nowadays, Eminem appears to be single and focused on his shady empire. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and hit the notification button to get updates on our latest videos that cover the hard-to-track and elusive money and business issues associated with our beloved rather secretive celebrities.